how that continues into game number 4. Very interesting start here to the draft. Get into that in just a second. The initial bans, by the way, also kind of interesting. Ophelia, Warbeast, Moira, but you're looking at Sania's second ban, Thunderbringer.
What?
So,
Okay,
yeah.
there's one reason and one reason alone, and that's because they are going for a PK heavy lineup in that case.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the only way, or like that's the only reason I can see. Parasite, by the way, I think they have first picked that hero every game so far, if I'm not mistaken. Sync.
Zlapt has played Parasite every game, I think. I think you're right. Yeah, I can't recall a game of the series here that he hasn't now yet, so...
Yeah, usually Tankafed got a very respectable Parasite as well, but Sync Esports is definitely not letting them have a try. Huh. Now they got the Puppet Master though, and here we say Kiesik, GG, Puppet, Andro. That's such a scary lineup to go versus. If they go for an offensive lineup right now,
yeah.
Is the Cthulhu still on the board? Yes, he is. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another Cthulhu here.
And, you know, again, I was kind of touching on it as we're going to the break here. But this is one of those games where Drunken Master, interesting, from Sync. But this is one of those games, though, you're up 2-1. You were up 2-0. You just lost the last game, though, if you're Reason. You need to win this one. I mean, I know technically you still have a Game 5 if you even happen to lose this one, but losing 2 games in a row, going against Sync Esports and needing to win that third one against them then with all the momentum in Sync's favor, there's probably not a very good chance that's going to happen. So it's safe to say if you're Reason, you win now or things could go the other way ultimately. So I'm sure they're feeling the pressure in that sense.
That they are. It is going to be the Cthulhu, by the way, so offensive tri-lane, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, this Puppet Master hype, as you've been pointing out, they've even been picking it up to almost take it away from Reason, if anything. So, but they give it up this time around. Which support here got the highest win percentage? Riftwalker. Yeah, a lot of that again from Root of Z, I'm sure. But what actually played support hero has the highest win percentage?
Yeah.
Because Riftwalker is really just Root of Z and then not much else. I'd be curious, out of the sports we actually do see many of teams. Which one has highest? I would probably think Andromeda, honestly. Where is Andromeda? Okay, there you go. I said it before, too. I win. About 61%, yeah.
Damn. That's quite high for a support.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Because usually they're not having the power to completely, swap around the games like carry, for example, would. But 60% on a support, that's quite significant. So Drunken Master, Behemoth, I would assume that's not a support Behemoth, seeing as they already got a Parasite. And Insania playing the hard supporting Behemoth, it's probably going to be Suicide Behemoth. So he's going to be up versus a 1-versus-1 in that case. And that gives Reason a pretty good opportunity to just pick a hero that does very well versus a melee hero for their safe lane. Like, let's see. Aimba Boys usually want to place Puppet Master, so there's not going to be like an Arachna or anything. But what heroes are there for Sane to play?
Pharaoh? I know he plays that hero quite a bit. I don't know if this is really a Pharaoh game, though.
Yeah, Pharaoh wouldn't be too... Drunken Monster can jump out of the wall, but Behemoth, he can't use his spells while the Hellfire is activated.
Yeah.
So in a 1-versus-1, Pharaoh would definitely come out winning in that one. Swiftblade so far hasn't even been touched in this series.
Yeah,
not
true.
Banned or picked.
Well, he was banned last game. At least not initially banned, but... I think he's been banned even a couple of times as far as the second bans, but still, it's not nearly. I mean, usually we're either first banned or picked up is the point. So, yeah, I would that could be one here, especially for a reason. That actually wouldn't surprise me if they do go Swiftblade. Granted, it is against a Drunken, so.
And Empath now as well.
Yeah.
There's the Shipper though. That hero is going to crush Behemoth if they place him in safe lane.
Mm-hmm.
Empath, who are you going to lane with? Is it going to be Empath Drunken Master Parasite going up versus this offensive tri-lane? Silhouette.
Ooh. Flensmeister Silhouette coming out. Oh boy. They're taking a page out of what is it? No, not disband. Freaking who? Team who?
Yeah.
Look, they've been running the Suicide Chronos once again lately, and they do it with the Clanks, but it's a similar idea here with Puppet Master, being the range carry and
And the shipper as
and
well.
Chipper, yeah,
yeah,
you're right. That's going to be actually good synergy there. So, Chronos' final pick, Team Who, right? Which
Team
team?
Who and Druids have been running it at some point as well, I think, with the Clang. No, I don't know. It was Team Who going with the Clangs at least.
Quincy, you're an asshole.
Oh my god.
He's
Okay.
a clever asshole, though. We'll say that.
They got a Chronos ultimate now, Chrono Field. Of course, they can just put it up for defensive use as well, and just swap out whatever target they want to focus with Andromeda. So those two heroes synergize pretty well.
Yeah, I know. Really, Shorecan, when playing it for Sync, or whoever was playing it for them, I mean, really showed that. Yep.
Yeah, it's just it was.
Jim
Wait, they were
Carrey?
swapping up their suicide. Yeah,
or
okay, it doesn't matter.
Somebody on Team Who was playing it again. They played it in a couple of games. Point is that it really showed us once again that this hero used to be a suicide pick. Yeah, Jim Carrey used to be a pickup all the time back in Hunter Season 2, especially. Of course, he got nerfed. The noticeable one, of course, is the ultimate. How 25% damage when you're outside of it from your teammates. So that really kind of did it in, if anything, and kept people away. But brought it back recently and really showed that it's still very good. I mean, you still get 5 seconds of AoE lockdown, even if you're dealing reduced damage outside of it and from your teammates. It's still a very powerful tool. So the point is that I'm not surprised to see it here as well, being picked up by Zane. And any extra lockdown against a hero like Silhouette's, of course, good. It's also great against Drunken, for that matter. With that untouchable up, you figure there's a lot of ways where he couldn't be stopped, but this is one of them where he can. Similar to an Elemental Void. But look at the aggressive trialing coming out, and you called this. You get through the fun down here.
And they should really look to or wait, Slap. Yeah, okay, Slap is gonna place a Word of Revelation. Good job on his part, blocking the hard cam for Cthulhu fans.
Yeah, taking that away. So instead, going to get a Wild Hunter here. And Slapped will... Do you think Slap should have just gone the other jungle off the bat?
Yeah, after warding, I think he should.
You look at what Reason did, though, to be fair as well. They blocked a couple of camps there.
Alright, never mind.
Yeah. So.
Well, he can't possibly know that beforehand, so... But, okay, he's gonna keep farming the hard camp for now, at least. Gonna get a Vulture Lord as well. That's a pretty good one. Optimally, you would want Catman champions, but Vulture Lord is alright.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go. So bottom lane though, Drunken Master being played by Mickey in this case. Actually, that's interesting. Mickey. So yeah, Keizo on Behemoth. He ends up mid in the end, and they did go at the aggressive dueling themselves of Silhouette and Empath. So a little bit funky as far as the lane setups go, but simply responding to what they're going up against, of course. So makes sense there. You got Nier going up against Drunken Master and going toe-to-toe with him initially.
Yeah. I'm looking at this... Oh, what? Behemoth mid?
Yeah. That was a very early jump. Oh, that's why, though. Empath coming in with the flank, the double wall strat, and it works out. Keizu with the Bloodlust kill. I was wondering, because, yeah, it seemed like with Parasite, it was like, well, that's not going to work out, but all of a sudden Empath in the flank. Man, that double wall strat is brutal.
Well played on your part.
Yeah.
That was a nice rotation from Insania.
You see the trash talk there, as you mentioned. Good friend, so all in good fun here. But yeah, that's not a combo we see often together. I mean, a Behemoth Empath, and if you know how to set up those angles, work with one another like clearly they do here, then good luck getting out of that. So Behemoth, when it comes to creep farm, how is he doing here? 9-1, Chipper 14-1. So Chipper definitely still winning that matchup. Again, no surprise. But now he has the Ward of Sight, seeing them coming. Yeah, he's going to be fine. I mean, knows, well, maybe not.
Having a...
Oh, jeez. That was close still.
What crypt did Parasite have?
He had a Alchemist Ogre. Not the,
Okay, not optimal.
not the best ganking creep. And the Fissure Stun actually missed as well as far as the stun goes, so yeah, it really didn't work out in the end. Oh, nice job by Slapped right there. He takes over the Catman Champion, then he gets out of it right away before Cthulhu Funk can eat it. So back to the middle lane, though. Again, the double wall. He goes into the corner. He really doesn't have much of a choice, to be fair. He tries to eventually wait it out, but that's not going to happen. Insania picks up the kill. Meanwhile, back to Parasite, though. Parasite, one more auto attack. He does go down, but at what cost here? Double damage Behemoth. Got to be scared of that. The Fissure Stun? No, not the best angle. However, it might not matter. Andromeda gets caught. And she is eventually going to be killed off right here. So, well played by Sync. Getting at least the final kill of that exchange in the end right there. So, yeah, you mentioned Chipper should dominate, do pretty well against Behemoth. But in the middle, it kind of changes it up a little bit with the roaming and whatnot.
Certainly does. Yeah, it can be difficult to hit those ship rockets in the mid lane. If Behemoth knows how to position himself, and I'm sure Kesu knows that. So, yeah. I mean, definitely a hero that's much stronger in the safe lane.
What do you think about Kronos going bottle first? On a short lane Kronos.
Tough question. I'm not sure how to
I'm with you.
tackle that
I don't
one.
get it. Because he's not really like the biggest mana user. It's just his Q ability, so I don't know. It seems a little funky.
Yeah, I guess it's alright. There's not necessarily any other item in the game right now that provides that early regeneration for you than the bottle. It is the mana battery that provides a little bit, but obviously, Drunken was going down.
Yeah, we got Mickey down there.
Yeah, but it's only the mana battery more or less, and that's only when you're in like versus heroes that are using multiple spells, and obviously Silhouette's not going to be able to use too many spells up here. So I feel like, I guess he was just forced into it more or less.
Okay.
You can go for a life tube as well, but that's a little bit more costly.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, and then you have a life tube, and it's like, well, what do I build this into now? To be fair, Sustainer is good because the rest of Stone is the eventual goal, I'm sure, from Zane.
I remember when we saw like life tube in every single game on the safe lane. Like that was what we were waiting for, just be picked up every time and built into the Helmet Black Legion.
Middle lane, Chipper just does not have the getaway, man. Kama Stun comes out, but it's not going to matter. Drunken Master, remember, he died bottom. Well, he resurrects, comes middle, helps with the kill. And that's now the third death on a Chipper, so clearly Sync is making a point that they do not want to let him get out of hand. And that's
They're addressing him very well. Usually people are afraid to go versus a Chipper in the... Oh, rock. No, wait, it's Andromeda. Hobbit Master is rotating over, though. I think this should be enough.
That should be a kill, yeah. There's the show. And down he goes. Imboboy gets credit. So, good news is Imboboy's 400 gold per minute just about. And actually, he's porting top. So, they're going to rotate here. In fact, they're going to go for a kill. Now comes the Kronos field in. That should be a kill, right? Voodoo pumping out. Kronos, as he dies the question. No, he does survive. Meanwhile, middle lane, though, again. Chipper in trouble, but no, they get the turret kill on a Drunken Master right there. Not sure how that ultimately happened, but it worked out, obviously, for a reason. So that worked out beautifully in the end.
That it did. Nice momentum buff for recent gaming, no doubt. 250 gold per minute on Chipper, but he's level 6, so he got all the levels that he is necessary more or less at this point. So he can easily follow up on a Trample or an Andromeda Stun or anything like that. So now you need to be careful if you want to keep the aggression up being Sync.
Yeah, that's definitely in mind there. Casey, now to be fair, the last time we saw Sync play Behemoth, it was with that Mickey playing it, or the one that I remember at least. Probably, and it was middle. But yeah, probably not going to be the case here. Or actually, was he short lane even? Maybe he was short lane. But point is, I'm sure we're going to see a Portal Key more of the traditional build here on KZoo. Not the Rune Cleaver and Assassin Shroud and whatnot. Flensmeister, he's obviously ported bottom now as well, so both teams kind of just changing it up here. Getting more safe farming situations going. But Imboboy, Assassin Shroud already in the works at this time. Got the Steam staff here.
If he can hit that before the Null Stone timing on Silhouette, then he should be able to get himself another kill.
New middle lane, Kronos, he's Doesn't have Chronos Field yet. It's down for another 25 seconds. But he would have a first hit bash. With the burst from Chipper.
It
but
might be enough.
in fact, it might almost
Tank
be better to not have the Chronos Field because, again, that means Chipper's damage will be that much more powerful.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah.
But they're going to wait it
here
out.
now, though. Oh, and he uses his dagger.
Oh, he's in trouble. Look at that. Jeez. Yeah, Chronos Field not even needed. And actually, ported from Andromeda. Jeez, 4 heroes here. A little overkill situation. Just to take out the Drunken Master, which they do accomplish.
I'm looking over the Hellborn lineup here, and I'm looking for like those Nullstone removers, as well as like the ways to counter Silhouette, and I feel like they got quite a bit to deal with him. I mean, Trample should work for Cthulhuphant, like a
just the wrong side.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, and the Chrono Field, of course, from Chronos, as well as Puppet Master being one of those better hard carries versus the Silhouette because of all that lockdown. So even if the Flensmeister would be starting to snowball here and get an Nullstone and a PK, I don't see him doing that much on his own.
Puppet Master going to fall back before getting caught out pushing that top tower. Gonna be fine here. Own Me, though, I will say for having 3 deaths, being 250 gold per minute, not too shabby for Chipper here. And he ports back to the middle lane, so he's got a Blood Chalice early on and, doing what he can to recover and farm as that bottle, of course. Bottom lane, could see some initiation. Andromeda is nearby. There's the face lock jump, though. Rewind is not leveled up on Chronos, so do not expect those charges. Andromeda, are they going to chase her now? Yeah, the fact that she showed herself. However, the Chronos Field comes out, and Cthulhuphant running in. Will this work out at the end? More sync is here, though. The tree's kind of doing a little funky thing. They respawn at the last second. Behemoth Shockwave comes out. Cthulhuphant dropping. Chronos able to pour it out. Cthulhuphant's fine.
Oh, my God.
Oh, they all get away. That is huge. And Path, the only one to die. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so he absorbs a little bit of damage there because of the hook in, but it's not going to be enough. So they will at least chase Tank Effect down. But they all get away. Initially.
Oh damn, yeah, Shipper's TP wasn't cooled on. If he would have been able to port down there, then the Reason would have been in a much better position than they are at this point. But unfortunately, that was more of a 4 versus 3 situation for Sync.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, having Chipper there could have definitely changed everything, but not able to make it. Bottom lane Silhouette, she's fine. Gets away from Chronos. But look at him, boy, man. Top tower. I mean, the GPM chart's really showing that it's all him right now. 450 gold per minute. And again, especially once he gets that Assassin Shroud, which he's actually going to have here very shortly. That's going to be scary to deal with. Flensmeister showing earlier in the series, and obviously, as we know by now, it is a dangerous item to go up against. Chipper, again, he's died several times, but he's recovered at the same time, and actually going the Ghost Marchers here. Hope a little more aggression.
Yeah, well, it synergizes very well with the hero, and usually you see pickup or Ghost Marchers being the more standard pickup. Even though Steamboots could do well in this game, seeing as it's versus the Parasite, of course, but he got a focus buffer, so it should be fine. With just when it comes to the magic damage provided or from Behemoth.
Middle lane, Chipper gonna have a creep wave there. Sustainer finished on Silhouette, so Nullstone in the works here.
I think the Shroud just got finished on Puppet Master, so if they somehow could make it their way down here and get a pick off on Silhouette before the Nullstone timing hits, that would be so optimal for them right now.
Look at the
but I don't think they're going to be able to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That'll prevent it if anything. I mean, Puppet Master, well, Veiled Rod actually. So, not Puppet Master, but you got Chipper and Andro coming in. So this actually could work. Yeah, that is the purpose of it after all, going past the Ward of Sights here.
Oh, it feels like Sync Esports realized
they still
something was up though.
I don't know if they saw them purchase the Veiled Rod or something, but Andromeda runs into a trap herself actually. Chronos, that's iffy. Yeah, that was way late, and I don't know if they want to fight this, but they do. Puppet Master is running in. That's an illusion. And they burst it down very quickly, but the fight still continues. Big trample there from Cthulhu Fawn. The Voodoo Puppet's out, and down goes Parasite right off the bat. Puppet Master, though, he's in a bad spot. The double wall once again doing work, and he gets caught out. Silhouette trying to escape right here. And actually, Chipper runs away with the rest of the team. Oh, no, they're chasing Drunken Master, that's why. So they kill Drunken, but Silhouette is going to be able to survive. Meanwhile, another Fissure Stun from Behemoth. Cthulhu Fawn, does he have another trample? He would. But it's going to be too far. No, it's not! What a lineup by Tankafet there.
Yeah, that
happens
was
to manage to hit him, so.
Oh, Nier might have overextended a little bit.
Just a tad.
Shipper is here, though, with Regeneration Rune.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, he's already good to go. Full mana, full life. Port's coming in, however, from Parasite. And that is going to scare them off, it looks like. Well, maybe not. Cthulhu Fawn wants to happen, but that was a miss. You know, you can't hit them all, I guess. However, the return burst on a Parasite. No, he takes off the creep at the last second. He has no life really, but he gets inside a creep. He escapes. Chipper, in the meantime, in trouble, too. The war continues down here as Empath is going to manage to get out of there. Double tap for Flensmeister. Well, Sync, I think, definitely came out on top in the end.
Yeah, now they overextended a little bit on Reason's side. Both Shipper and Cthulhu going down. That was a little bit unnecessary on their part. Oh, wait, they might be looking for more, though. Silhouette is... Nah, they're not going to be able to find him.
No. Too far away. So, that was, well, almost a never-ending fight at the bottom lane. But they are going to find something middle, however. Kronos jumps in. No, Kronos Field Drunken Master takes some good damage, but not enough. They just did not want to dive too far. And Kronos will be fine, but yeah, he didn't have a Kronos Field right there either, so unable to get that out. But Sync playing defensive enough here. And manages to escape. Without more casualties. Behemoth, that portal key, yeah, it's just around the corner.
Okay, that's going to be a big one.
Doesn't
Reason Gaming are looking to be very offensive, so if that portal key timing for Behemoth were to hit them, might result in a big genocide for the Legion team.
Yeah, he just purchased it. It's being delivered here. Now, I wonder if you're going to see with the ward, perhaps. There's a rev ward down. So Sync knows that there's a ward of sight, and he sends back the portal key. Yeah, I was going to... There you go. They're going to take out the ward of sight first. And that will be the end of it. So they were wanting to make sure that that information wasn't given away. Well played.
Alright, so Reason Gaming are going to slow it down a little bit. I think that's a good decision now when Behemoth got a portal key. Obviously they don't know that, but they don't have the best sieging heroes.
Yeah.
Neither team does, unless you're gonna like count Silhouette's counter pushing later on.
Especially with something like a Savage Mace or a Wing Bow, yeah. That'll do wonders. Bottom lane, Empath trying to escape here. It looks like she is going to be fine. Chronos still no rewind, by the way. I think maybe at least 1 point in it earlier on wouldn't be the worst thing, but...
I agree. He's going to go down here, by the way.
There you go. They show off the portal key. And again, no rewind, no chance at RNG right there.
Oh, look at this, by the way. Kiesu is going for level 3 in Rage, and he's got level 2 Fissure.
Huh.
That's not something you see too often.
Yeah, that's true. Not too sure about the logic there.
Yeah, well, I haven't made a math, but it might be more damage to single targets if you max up the range over the Fissure.
Okay.
Obviously, it's not going to be better in team fights because Fissure is a large AoE stun, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's just kind of funky, too, because if anything, you figure 1 point and then just max out W then if that's the case. But anyways, top lane, Imboboy gets picked off. Of course, a huge kill for Sync. Speaking of Behemoth, using that portal key. Bottom tower also pushed in, so Sync, they gain some more rune right there. And the Null Sun, of course, finished on Flensmeister. Portal key going to be next in line, I'm sure. Parasite, by the way, once again going for the the Astrolabe here. So just a good team item, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I like it. I think that last time, or last game, they definitely like provided them a lot of support when it came to those early mid dives at the tier 1 tower, and perhaps Sync Esports are looking to do something similar once again.
Yeah. Middle tower, whew, Slap gets credit, even though, yeah, Chipper and Andromeda there to deny it, but dealing with that Ballista just a little too much.
It's not easy to last it versus that. The sub, by the way, is well, really recovering well. He's almost up to that 300 gold per minute mark again. He's 270, but he was down to like 180 or something after the laning phase. So he's definitely finding some farm here. Drunken Master though, Energizer on him. That's a little bit odd.
Yeah,
Usually you're not typical item.
I feel like Keizu did this all the time when he played Drunken on Suicide, and so maybe it's just a sync thing in general. They like the idea of the synergy with the Energizer and the hero. Again, it is funky, and I think I understand why you're getting at it too. It's just because like, agility, and it's like you're not really getting those benefited stats from it for him either. Necessarily.
Yeah, and he got
compared
an
to the
empath
hero.
already to give him movement speed if that's what he's looking for. And he got the Ghost Monsters for unit walking. I don't know, I would have rather seen like a Mystic and into the Bulwark or something.
Yeah. Well, has the Energizer here. We'll see where Mickey does go next. Farming about 270 GPM himself, so not too bad. How about Imba Boy, by the way? He went the Assassin Shroud, nothing crazy there, but now he's actually just following straight up into a Hellflower, it looks like.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Usually when you pick up the shroud, you just want to keep the aggression up, going all the time. Whenever you have your ultimate off cooldown, you want to go for a gank attempt. But he hasn't been able to find him so far, so he's dropping off gold or in the gold minute a little bit. He was above 400, but now he's dropped below once again. Silhouette, however, he's or she is continually starting to. Oh wait, Shipper at the bot lane.
Yeah, that Invis with the Felled Rot. You see Casey running in, actually going to jump in right there under Andromeda. Gets the quick kill, but Chipper and Kronos are there. Kronos Field comes out, down goes Behemoth. Parasite had just jumped in, having to be perfect timing with the Kronos Field, locking him in place. But Drunken Master does catch Kronos, gets the kill onto him. Puppet Master joins the party pretty damn late. I think it's safe to say damage already done here. Cthulhu tramples in, but the follow-up not really going to be there. He basically says, kill me, keep you away from my team. So down he goes. Sync comes out on top big time right there. KZU did buy back, by the way, in the midst of that fight.
Yeah, okay. That was, well, good start for Reason, of course, but they're being a little bit too overconfident. They don't have the... Oh, Chipper?
Yeah, they're chasing more. The wall up again, man. The double walls are brutal. Voodoo Puppet will finish off Behemoth, though. Quick burst coming out, but at what cost? Nice wall from Andromeda, but Flensmeister picks him off with the Death Lotus in the background. And they finish off Chipper as well. And guess what? The momentum has started for Sync, and it ain't showing any signs of slowing down here.
No, Sync is playing so well right now. They're not giving. I mean, we saw in the start of the game like the synergy between Chronos and Puppet Monster just porting in and setting up the Chrono field and get an easy pick off, but they haven't been able to find any of those kills, even though they have such a fast Assassin Shroud on Puppet Monster. And that just goes back to Sync Esports just positioning themselves correct all the time and just providing map vision for their team. There has been like a lane ward down at their safe lane this entire game, and recent gaming so far they haven't done anything to counter it. They have used the Veiled Rock to get past it, but every single time somehow Sync Esports notices that something is up, and they're always ready to defend their silhouette down at the safe lane. So
yeah. Got to prioritize that. Yeah, you do see your Water Rev is here, but obviously out of range and not going to catch the Water Sight. Now, granted, this Water Sight is going to be wearing off, but that's at least the second one that has been there. So, interesting. I thought Flensmaster would have actually played it more than that, but only 6 times on record that we have here. But obviously plays it very well. Gets the Thunderclaw, actually, by the way, instead of the Portal Key. Interesting.
he can still get the portal key now, but
Okay.
yeah, he's gonna get it. Okay. I guess that just goes back to the fact that he wants to split push this game. And obviously, Fanical helps with that. Oh, Andromeda, she is deep.
Gee, what is Andromeda doing over here? Are they going to catch her? Empath inside Drunken Master. Meanwhile, off to the side, though, they found a free kill on a Parasite, but here goes that Drunken. Big shockwave from Behemoth. Down goes Kronos. And now Cthulhu in the midst of it once again. He's going to end up falling. Puppet Master doing what he can. May finish off Behemoth. It looks like it will, but Flensmaster going to pour it in. Yes, he is. He has a tree grapple even going. And you see Puppet Master, Assassin Shroud 1 second, gets off any kind of dust. No, they do not. So Puppet Master going to juke away. Oh, man, he's going back in, actually. I don't know about
they
that.
back on Kronos, but
Okay.
they're not going to be able to accomplish anything on their own.
Yeah.
That's the downside with Chronos right now. I mean, if you don't have the magic or like the damage to follow it up on a Chrono field, then you're not going to be successful in those team fights because Chronos deals close to 0 damage on his own, unless he gets Ele Parasite or some damage item, of course, later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Puppet Master not dealing the most of damage.
Well, yeah, no, he's a lot about single target, of course. That's really the whole skill, the whole point of the hero. A lot about that upfront single target burst. Whereas, the example I brought up with Clanks, Team Who, that's the synergy that they went for. The Clanks on top of the Chronos field, and that showed, especially when Clanks has a Thunderclaw. You got his Goon Squad, you got his Lackey, of course, and his passive. He's doing a lot of AoE damage in those Chronos fields that are locking them down. So. Yeah, no, it's unless they get Chippers able to follow up freely, which, it's not definitely guaranteed by any means. Doesn't seem like that is the best synergy. What timing by Silhouette. Managed to escape the Chronos field, but he does die in the end still. Good catch out by Recent Gaming. Take Effect going to be swapped out. Barely lives, but only a little bit longer. No, he's going to buy the distance, it looks like, as he tramples away. A couple of different fights going on. Behemoth gets stunned mid-cast. But he's still going to help secure the kill on the Chronos, as well as Puppet Master. Parasite is picked off in the background. As Drunken Master, he now joins them. Empath will fall, but Behemoth jumping in. Down goes Chipper right there. Andromeda going to be chased down. Cthulhuphon also killed off. And that's going to do it. A hat trick for Keizu. Let's make it a kill on Andromeda. It's a genocide for Sync Esports. But hey, at least a tower kill for a reason.
At least, yes. Oh my god, Behemoth is doing so much work in those team fights. He's getting that Fissure, that AoE stun off multiplied times, every single times.
Yeah.
And yeah, at this point, Reason just can't afford to have him like standing in those team fights. They need to focus down the Behemoth. If they don't find the Behemoth, they cannot initiate. I mean, we saw right there, obviously the Chrono Field now missed on Silhouette, and they got the Silhouette even before the team fight started, and still they came out losing that one. And that just comes down to the Behemoth. Like, you cannot initiate unless you get the Behemoth in a Chrono Field. You need to focus him down. It's too much damage.
Having fun with chat there again, but yeah, you look at Behemoth, 17% hero damage done. No doubt he's had high impact. He goes a tablet. Yeah, okay, they are going against a Chronos. I was gonna say, when you're scaling like this on a Behemoth, I would love to see even like the spell shards just enhancing that damage that much more. But the tablet,
It's for the Chronos.
Yeah, exactly. I get it here. Nice pickoff though, as they find Andromeda.
Wow, that damage.
Yeah.
That's insane. He's level 60 now as well.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Got a level 3 Shockwave, so very high damage potential there.
No BKB on the Hellborn team whatsoever. Puppet Master, like we stated earlier, went for the Hellflower, so this makes it even more important for the Hellborn team. Unless they find the Behemoth pre-fight, they are not going to be able to win.
Okay, they want to kill this Drunken Master, but that's not easy, and the team support is coming in. They will get the kill in the end, as Cthulhuphon, though, falls in return. So, ends up being a 1-for-1 right there. And there's still more to come, apparently. Flensmeister goes in with a tree grapple. Behemoth, nice stomp on a Chipper. The Void Talisman, it's not going to matter right there. Maybe. No, it will not. He pops it at the last second. He goes down anyways. Andromeda's picked off. Voodoo Puppet's out, I believe, onto Silhouette. But no, it doesn't actually kill her. She manages to escape, and the chase continues. Nice stomp again from Casey. He's just right on top. GG, well played, and we are going to a game number 5 between Sync and Recent Gaming. And as I was saying, going into this game, Sync now has won 2 games in a row into the final game here for both of these teams. It's looking grim for Recent Gaming here.
Yeah, they have lost a lot of momentum. These last 2 games, they haven't been as focused as they were during the start of the series. Definitely, they are losing momentum. And Sync Esports, they are just... I don't know how they can still be standing so strong, Sync. I mean, I would have been a little bit demoralized if I were down 0-2, but still standing strong, and their drafts are definitely working out. They're making them, or executing them way better than they did in game number 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been fun to watch here, and obviously going the distance is always a damn entertaining thing here as a spectator. So, as you see right there, again, having some fun in chat. But it looks like we are going to be going on just a very short break. I'm sure not too much time here, but Obviously, both teams, it's when you go the distance like this in a best of 5, it could take a little bit, but take a little bit out of you. But game number 5, it should be coming up here shortly. I'm guessing maybe about 5 minutes or so at the very most. So, ladies and gentlemen, Reason Gaming versus